Hi everybody. Today is a little bit of a blend of our traditional movements, and we're trying to just make them link nice and smoothly together. Not very many repetitions, modify where you see fit, and let's just begin. So I'm going to start off on the mat, just warming up our back very gently. So I'm going to sit on the seat bones in a little diamond position, because that enables me to sit up as easily as possible. And I want you just to remember the rotations that we've done over the last couple of weeks. Imagining that we're trying to get a wallet out of the back pocket by sliding one hand forwards, and that's a very influential hand, the forward hand, and the other hand back. So it's a middle back rotation with stability through the pelvis. And again, rotation and a rotation. So what we're looking for is for that back elbow to draw back and not up, not out. For the shoulder to not lift on the back. And just really feel that you're sort of oiling your spine. And I'm really thinking lengthen all the time. Middle back rotation. We'll do one more each side. Middle back and middle back. And then you're going to pause and you're going to think about your side bending. So you could just lightly have your hands onto the floor, and I want you just to part your ribs a little to one side. So you're parting all the way back to center. Now part the ribs to the other side. So really just visualize the space between your rib cage, and it's opening on one side, and on the other side it's getting a little bit smaller, a little closer together. So you could make this more challenging by having your hands out to the side. You could take it across and back, a little across and back. What I want you to really appreciate here is that we're not using the head, the arms, the shoulders, just the muscles of the middle back. One more each side, and pause. And then slowly from there we're going to come back to the center of the mat, and we're going to begin with a roll-up. So we've rotated, we've laterally flexed, now we're going to flex the spine. So if you need to, you can begin with your hands underneath your knees. You can modify however you see fit. That might be the drag, the coming back up and forwards. But I'm going to go for the full movement where possible. So my legs glued together, very active through the inner thighs. The arms are in front. I'm going to draw the hip bones lightly backwards. Lay the bones sequentially all the way down. Your arms come all the way back behind you. Then my arms are going to come up. It's almost as though they pick up my head. Inhaling as you come up, and exhaling, coming forwards, and reach. Now slowly from there, we come all the way back down again. Pause. I'm going to bring one foot in at a time. And we're going to go straight into an articulation bridge. So draw the hip bones lightly backwards, come all the way up into your bridge position. Remember your little seat bone lights, rather than pointing down, they come into a full beam. And lay the bones sequentially all the way back down again. Send your legs away from you, arms come up overhead, lift the head, neck and chest all the way up and over, and take that little reach. All the way back down again with float pause, bringing my legs this time slightly more advanced, both at once, hip socket width apart, draw your hip bones lightly backwards. Imagine a little ball in between your legs, in between your knees, and you're giving it a little squeeze. Lay the bones sequentially on an exhale all the way back down again. So I reach the legs away, bring the arms overhead. I'm making it slightly more challenging by trying to keep the arms close to the head. That makes it that little bit more difficult, and reaching it forwards. And again, as I come back down, I'm keeping those arms by the ears. Arms by my side, bringing the legs back to the bridge, draw the hip bones lightly backwards and peel sequentially up to that full bridge position. Inhale at the top, exhale, lay the spine sequentially down. We'll just do one more. So I reach the legs away, arms come overhead. Slightly easier would be to bring the arms in front of the face, and obviously that makes life that little bit easier for you. And then slowly from there, keeping the arms in front, remember, will be that little bit easier. We come all the way down, hands by our sides, last little bridge, and from there draw the spine sequentially all the way up, 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 up. Inhale, and as you exhale, lay the bones all the way back down. So we'll do one last little roll up, make it easy, make it difficult. With the arms, it's entirely up to you, all the way up, 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 up. And that little stretch forwards. This time we're going to go into rolling like a ball. So I'm going to come a little closer towards the front edge of my mat, holding onto the shins lightly, big toes are touching, draw flexion into the low back, so the hip bones pull back a little, lift the heels. Ensure that you're drawing the belly button, bottom ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs, breastbone back, the eyes drop back, and without the tummy pushing out, we're going to hover those legs up. Now it's an inhale to roll back, and an exhale to come all the way back up. Now if you can, you're going to start to straighten one leg out, you're going to straighten the other leg out, lift your heart, hip bones draw lightly backwards, and we're going to do a little open leg rocker. All the way, whoops, back up and lift. And then from there we bring it all the way back down and straight back into rolling like a ball. Now if you want a little bit of a modification, you could just practice in a bent knee position. Coming back and lift into a straight spine when you come back. Back into rolling like a ball. Coming back and all the way back up. But if you can, it's that straight leg position. Now I've lifted my heart here, a very gentle draw back of the hips, all the way back up, and lift that heart. Legs come back together, back into our rolling like a ball position. Remember the belly button, bottom ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs, breastbone back, and all the way back up. We have just one more. Remember the modifications if you require them. And again, draw it back and all the way back up, and bring those legs together and back down. We're going into our abdominal series now, which is single leg stretch and double leg stretch. So carefully allow yourself to come all the way down to the floor. Make sure that you're centered onto your mat. And you're going to slowly from here, just remember any modifications that you might need to make. That might be head stays down, towel underneath your head. It's entirely up to you. You remember, you know what works for you, what doesn't. But if you can, you're going to slowly from there allow yourself to draw one leg up to a bent knee position. Your head, neck and chest will lift up. You'll reach your other leg up to an angle and pause. Now outside hand to outside of the bent leg, and the other hand to the inside knee. Now remember, I'm trying to round forwards as though I'm doing rolling like a ball, and we're just going to pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch. Now from here we're going to reach both legs out, reach the arms, circle all the way around and all the way back in. And from there we're going to reach the other leg out. So we reach the new leg out, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, hold, and reach the other leg. Reach the arms back behind you, circle all the way around and back in. And the first leg, reach and switch, and switch, and switch. Push both legs out, both arms overhead, circle all the way around and pause. New leg goes out. Reach and switch and switch and switch. Push the other leg out. Arms reach behind. Now you could just take your hands behind your head and pull in if you wanted a little bit of a modification. But ideally, both arms back, no further back with the arms and the ears, all the way back in. We'll do one more set each side. So we reach and reach, reach and reach. Both legs, arms two, circle the arms, draw it in. Last one. Reach and reach and reach and reach. Push both legs out, reach all the way, circle around, in, and rest your head, neck and chest down. Now you could roll your head to one side, roll your head to the other, and just make sure there's no tension anywhere. You may even want to hold on to your thigh bones and circle those thigh bones around a couple of times one way and a couple of times the other. Sticking with the abdominals, we're going to do crisscross and then add a straight leg variation, single leg variation to it. This is quite tricky. Modify where you see fit. You might just stick with the crisscross, do a couple of reps, take a break. It's entirely up to you. So again, with this you need to lift your head, neck and chest. We're going to slowly from there take the hands, clasp them together, pop them behind the middle skull, draw the legs into a 90-90 position. Now you're controlling the level sacrum, the bottom ribs. You're going to bring your elbows into peripheral vision, and you're going to do a little chest lift up. So you may even just stick with the chest lift position. I'm going to reach one leg away, the other leg exactly as it was for the single leg stretch. And now I'm going to rotate towards that bent knee. And then we rotate towards the other bent knee. We rotate and we rotate. Now if you can from there, we're going to reach the other leg up and we're going to switch and switch, switch and switch. Back to bent knee, switch and switch and switch and switch. Reach the legs, crisscross and crisscross, crisscross and crisscross. Back to bent knee, reach and reach. Really look miles away from you to try, if you can, to not clamp the chin to the chest. And pause. We'll just do one more little set. And cross and cross. You can reach, cross over and switch and switch and switch. All the way back in. Head, neck and chest comes down. Again, take any amount of time that you need to make any little moments of almost active recovery for yourself. So I'm going to bring it up in a little almost rolling like a ball style linking move. Please make these transitions however works best for you. And we're now going to open the hip up a little in some extension work. So coming onto your tummy, we're going to do a little almost mini swan. And just again, think, does the swan work for you? Does it encourage you almost to put your arms into a position that you're not happy with? So if I'm suggesting that your arms are here, and it really doesn't work for you, then please just keep them down here and work on your swan in this position. So I think we've done enough videos now to realise that just because I might cue something up here and it doesn't suit you, doesn't mean to say you have to do it. This is absolutely fine down here. But if you can, we've got the arms just comfortably above the head and looking straight down. And you're going to really focus on length in your entire spine. So my pubic bone becomes a little more weighted, the hip bones lighten a little, the thigh bones reach away. And I'm just going to allow the back of the head to come up, the arms come in a little, and we're going to find a little baby swan position here that comes from the thoracic spine, that middle back, holding and breathing. And then I'm going to allow it to come all the way back down again. Bring my arms all around and then clasp the fingers of one into the palm of the other. Let the elbows drop down. Now you rest onto one cheek. Bring the legs so they are glued together. And we're going to simply from there, kick in 1, kick in 2, kick in 3. And clasp those hands and reach everything away. Now bring the arms all the way around. They come down, legs settle to the ground, still think length, and find a little mini swan again. Lifting, 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 finding those ribs almost pushing down and forwards. And then we come all the way back down again. Bring those hands, clasp again behind your back. Elbows are very heavy. Rest onto the other cheek. We kick in 1, kick in 2, kick in 3, and reach, clasp those hands together, open your chest, glue the legs together. Now bring the arms all the way forwards again, the legs settle, hands come down, and find a baby swan again. Keep the collarbones beautifully open, shortening that middle upper back. We're going to do one more of these each side. So we can bring it all the way down. Arms come around, clasp together, glue the legs together, elbows heavy, rest onto the cheek, kick in 1, kick in 2, kick in 3, and clasp the hands and reach and open that chest. So really thinking less about the neck and more about just opening the whole of the front of the body. And then the arms come around, slowly from here rest the legs, and again find that little mini swan position. And then slowly from there, let everything come down and behind with the hands. Elbows rest heavy. The legs come together. You rest onto the other cheek. And we kick in 1, kick in 2, kick in 3. And reach, clasping those hands together. Reach everything away. And then let your legs come down. This time I'm going to do 2 swans a little more actively. So the hands are onto the mat, the nails level with about your shoulders, top of the shoulders, there or thereabouts. The same principles, elbows reach long and away from you. The collarbones are open. We find the mini swan initially, and then slowly from there, using the low back, the middle back, the upper back, and the eyes, we come all the way up. And then slowly bend the elbows to bring it all the way back down. Clasp those hands behind. Glue the legs together, hands high, elbows heavy. You're going to rest onto your cheek. You're going to kick in 1, kick in 2, kick in 3, clasp the hands and open, 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 open. Last little swan. Bringing the hands onto the mat. Think about a big inhale, and as you exhale, let your elbows feel heavy and pushing towards the end of your mat. And then slowly, the back of the head comes up, the eyes move forwards. Make sure the eyes are looking forwards as you come all the way back up. And then slowly from there, you're going to bring it all the way back down, 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 down. You're going to clasp the hands together. Rest onto the other cheek, legs together, elbows heavy, hands quite high up the back. Kick in 1, kick in 2, kick in 3, clasp the hands, center the head, and open, open, open. Allow everything to come down for a moment. So we are going to do a little dart here. You're going to take a wide full inhale. You're in an external rotation of your upper arms so that the palms are facing down. Pubic bone is heavy. And whenever you're ready, you're going to allow the arms just to hover. Lift the head, neck and chest a little up. And just hold this position here. So you're going to draw a little bit more width into the collarbones. ensure that the head hasn't lifted too high. Make sure that that pubic bone is weighted, the hip bones are light, and this may be where you stay. But if you can, you're going to think a little about the 100. So you're going to reach your legs a little more away from you. They might lift a touch. And with that upper arm bone, you're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 2 more sets, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding it here, you're going to slowly allow your head, neck and chest to come all the way down and your legs. Bring your hands now so that they're one over the other so that you can rest your forehead onto the palms. We're just going to do a little bit of heel beats to finish in this position. Reach your legs beautifully long and slowly from there feel the heels touching in an external rotation. Imagine you could squeeze your upper inner thighs together. And you're going to beat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. And again, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Reach those legs, feel the bottom working. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Don't be too heavy on your head. 2 more sets, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Last set, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Allow the legs to come down and you're going to stretch your back out as best you can. So we come all the way up, bring the knees underneath you. Perhaps that's a little cat stretch for you, little Blackpool donkey. Perhaps it's drawing all the way down, like so. Allowing yourself to come over to one side, stretching out one side of the back, around to the other, stretching out. It's entirely up to you. Maybe you're happier just in this box position, articulating and articulating the other way. It's entirely up to you. Whatever you do, just make sure that you get a lovely release after all that extension work. And then slowly from there, we're going to do a little side bend and a rotation, but in a little bit more of a classical style. So we're going to sit onto the bottom. I like to pull the skin out from underneath the seat bones, just to ensure that the skin underneath the bottom isn't causing us to sit in a slump. Now, if you need to get a block or a towel or sit on something, then please do. It might be a little bit more comfortable for you. I'm going to take the legs so that they are maybe about the mat width apart, there or thereabouts. And we're going to start with a little side bend. So we're going to take the arms out to the side and we're going to allow ourselves just to come over to one side, allowing the elbow to slightly bend on the stretching side. Then we come all the way, not on the stretching side, on the opposite side. And then we're going to come into a rotation, but we're going to bring the legs together first, and we're going to rotate, rotate, bring it back, part the legs, and we laterally flex, side bend to the other side. All the way back, legs come together, and we rotate, rotate. So, legs part, sit up tall, we laterally flex, allowing that underside shoulder to feel heavy, all the way back up, legs come together and we rotate in the same direction as we did our side bend. Then we part, we come over, feel the ribs parting, everything that you learned about side bending, pause, legs back together, rotate, rotate. So I'm going to do this facing you so that you can see it a little bit better. Remember the skin underneath the bottom. So legs part, and you're going to do a little side bend. Now that comes from your rib cage parting on that lengthening side. So for me, it's my left side. Coming all the way back up, legs together, and rotate, rotate. So that is the left side again that you're focusing on the rotation. So now the legs part, we come across to the other side, laterally flexing, all the way up, legs come together, and we rotate, rotate. So with flow, we come up to come over, back up, legs together, sit tall, rotate, and rotate. All the way back, legs apart, laterally flex to the side, all the way back up, legs together, rotate, rotate. We'll do one more each side. So we come across, it's my left side I'm working, legs together, again left side, all the way back. And then we do right side, lengthening, all the way back, and again rotate, rotate, all the way back. Bring your legs back onto the mat and just take a little stretch for a moment. So we're going to come down onto our backs now and do some leg circles with the bicycle. So move my mat across a little bit so that I don't hit the mirrors. Carefully articulate yourself all the way down. And we're going to do a slightly more classical leg circling technique, much more along the lines of Joseph Pilates' original. So we're going to take the arms out to the side a little, and I'm going to focus on my right leg initially. So I'm going to draw my right leg in, and I'm going to go to a bent knee position and then to a straight leg. Now if you can't straight leg, it doesn't matter. Feel the flatness of your shoulder blades, possibly a block under your head, it's up to you. Now I'm going to come across far enough that my hip comes right off on that right bottom cheek. Then we circle it around, we catch the pelvis on the left as the leg circles all the way around. So it comes across, the back stretches, the hip comes off, we come all the way back, but don't allow that left side. Then on this next one, we're going to come across, we're going to roll over onto our side, resting the front hand, resting the head, and we're going to go straight into some bicycles. So we come back, make sure that you're not going to fall off the mat, circle around with the leg and back. And again, reach and back. We reach and back. We'll go the other way, forwards and reach and forwards and reach. One more, forwards and reach. Now from there, if the leg is forwards, we can bring it all the way back onto our backs, and we come around and up, across, around and back, across, around and pause, back over again. Now that underside leg, make sure that it's still supporting you. I've got my heel lifted and the foot is ever so slightly in front of me. We go straight into the bicycle and reach, back and reach. One more this direction and reach. And we'll go the other way. So hip mobility and reach and forwards. Last one and forwards. Coming all the way back onto your back again. Remember the position of the arms. Cross, around and up. So we cross over. My right hip has come off the mat. All the way around and back. I'm going to do just one more in case you didn't get the first one. Cross over. My right hip has come off. All the way up. And this time, last one, we come across. It's a natural come across onto the side of the body and straight into that bicycle. And reach back. And reach back. And reach back. And we'll go 3 the other way. Reach. And reach. And reach. And pause there. Coming all the way back down onto the mat. I'm going to just move around to the other side because otherwise I'll have my back to you. So we're going to do the other leg. So remember your arm position out to the side. You might be palms down, you might be palms up, collarbones are open. Drag the new leg. For me, that's the left leg up. I'm focusing on my seat bone pulling down. I'm not flattening my back out. And I'm going to come right across so that the hip comes right off. We circle around, but now stabilize the pelvis as you come around, around, around. Across, around, and up. And this time we come across, pause. With ease, come onto your side. We have the hand in front. I'm going to push that underside little toe in and the heel up. And we go straight into the bicycle. Forwards and back. Forwards and back. Remember, you're going to open that hip up. One more, reach back. We go the other way. Hip opens. Just 3. Hip opens. One more, hip opens. Now slowly from there, that leg can come forwards. We come all the way onto our back again. The arms are to the floor. And again, you come right across the body. Circle around, catch the right hip this time. Left hip comes off. As left hip comes down, right hip stabilizes. One more. Coming across. Holding here, little toe on the underside leg. Now we come back, forwards and reach. Remember your shoulders, keep them softly down your back. And reach, and forwards. Now we'll go the other way, reach back and around, reach back and around, reach back and around. We'll just do one more. So this time leave the leg forwards. Come all the way onto your back, pause, reposition your arms. Now we're going to come across, we're going to circle around, the left hip stabilizes as does the right. One more, left hip comes off, circle around, keep that length in your spine all the time. Are you breathing around and pause? Bringing it across for the last time, coming onto your side, and you're going to slowly go straight into that bicycle. Bend and reach forwards. Bringing it back, bend and reach forwards. Bringing it back, bend and reach forwards. We'll go the other way, back and around, and back and around, and back and around. Reaching that leg long, both legs together, bring them in and very slowly pushing yourself all the way up. Very well done. So we're going to go into a little bit of rollover and a single leg bridge. So if you don't do the rollover, I would maybe just focus on a little bit of both feet in the bridge and then transferring your weight to one and then the other side. But if you can do the rollover, you're going to reach both legs away from you and pause. Now just to be on the safe side for the first one, we'll bring one leg to bent knee, bring the other leg to bent knee. Reach both legs up towards the ceiling. Now in that position, I'm pulling my seat bones right down, trying to get as much length into the hamstrings as possible. Shoulders don't round, draw it all the way back, 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 back. The weight should be on your shoulders, not on your neck. Flex deeply through your ankles, open those collarbones. And this time as you come all the way down, 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 you're going to pause. Place one foot underneath you so that it's able to do the bridge. We can point the top toes. And we're simply going to lift up and lower straight down. So there's no articulation for 4 and down, and 3 and down, and 2 and down, and 1 and down. And then we switch to the other side. We're going to lift, lower, lift, lower, 2 more. Remember your little seat bone lights. Lift, lower. Now pause there. The other leg comes straight up and over into rollover. Flex deeply through your ankles. Open the collarbones. You're on your shoulders, not your neck. Lay the bones sequentially down, 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 and pause. Place one foot so that it's underneath for the bridge. Point the top toe straight up. Lower down. So I want you to think while you're up here that your thigh bone on the support side is reaching forwards of your knee. Your seat bone has gone into the full beam. 2 more. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. And then slowly from there the legs switch. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Think about your form. 1 more and pause. We'll do 1 more set of these. Both legs up. Pull your seat bones down. Open your collarbones. Feel your palms, your wrists, your elbows. The back of the triceps coming all the way up and over. Flex deeply through the ankles. You're on your shoulders, not your neck. Lay the bones all the way back down. And for the last time, foot comes down. Point the toe. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. 2 more and lower. 1 more and lower. We switch the legs. Lift. Remember, no articulation. Lower. Keep that space in your low back lengthened and lower. 2 more and lower. 1 more and lower. And you can just bring both knees in. Maybe just give yourself a little hug. You might want to circle those thigh bones. It's entirely up to you. And whenever you're ready, allow yourself to come all the way up. So we're going to do a little bit of plank. Plank and a side plank. So from here, something I want you just to think about for your wrists. When your hands are on your mat, I want you to imagine that you could pull the pull the forearm bone back and away from the wrist, creating space as you come up and on to the wrist like so. Try also to be more to the outside edge of the hand so that your first finger and thumb, which really, if you take the weight more towards the pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, that will connect more into your back. So the 2 things I want you to think about is the lengthening of this forearm out of the wrist when you come onto it, and also where the weight is when you're in that plank position. So let's try that when we do our little planks. So you can always sort of come back with the forearm, almost as though I was going to drag my hands back. And as I come up, I'm thinking less compression, more lift through the wrist. Find the weight, the outer edge more of the hand. Take 1 foot back, take the other foot back, and just feel your plank position. Now this might be enough for you. You might just hold, bring the knees down and take a little break. But if you can, pull the toes of 1 foot a little more underneath you and elevate 1 leg. We're going to push back and forwards, back and forwards. That foot comes down and we lift the other leg, back and forwards. Stretch that Achilles and forwards. Foot comes down, spin the feet around, make sure that underside hand is underneath the shoulder and bring it all the way up. Hold into your little side plank. Now if you can, you would lift up and lower. Lift up and lower. All the way back around again into your plank. If you need a little break, please take one. We're going to do 1 more set of this. So we're going to pull 1 leg up and I'm going to push back and forwards, back and forwards. Reposition that foot and we pick the other leg up. Push into the Achilles on the right and forwards, into the Achilles and forwards. Bring that foot down. Now spin the feet to the other side. Your new hand comes underneath and lift all the way back up. Now if you can, we lift and lower and lift and lower. yourself a little moment. All the way back up, and we're going to bring it to a bridge again. I just want to articulate the spine one last time. All the way back down, down, down. Both arms are by your sides. Bring those feet a little closer. And you're going to slowly bring yourself, I don't mind how, into a bridge position and pause. Now remember your typewriter hips. So they're either a typewriter from hip bone to hip bone, or you are rather like a skateboard. So with your arms down by your sides, all I want you to do is just draw your hips across to one side, and then staying on that beautiful level across to the other side. Come back to center, come down one vertebra. We go across to the other side, and across. All the way back to center, come down one vertebra. Now your knees are staying stable as we go across and across. Back through center and bring it down. And again, across and across. Imagine that skateboard, imagine that typewriter. One more, down. We move across and center and across. And center, there's maybe room for one last one, bringing it down. We move across as though we were on the skateboard. Keep those hips level and across, all the way back. Bring it all the way back up. Arms come all the way back behind you and articulate all the way back down, 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 and pause. Bringing those arms all the way around. Hug your knees in. You might want to just allow your thigh bones to draw out to the side. Hold. If it feels good to you, straighten those legs and just allow yourself a lovely stretch through the inner thigh. Just hold and breathe. I'm slightly pulling in with my hands as I let the thigh bones pull out to the outside. And then bringing it all the way back in. However works best for you to come up. Because we've done a few rolling like balls, this time we'll do a little roll up, all the way up, 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 pause. You might just take one seat bone out, other seat bone out, and take a little stretch forwards. Couple more little things. We're going to do some triceps just to finish. So if you can from here, I want you to come into almost like a little box position. But I'm going to allow my hands to be angled a little in front of my shoulders. Now what is important is the position of the back. So try not to let your back dip, try not to let it arch. And simply from here, again, the weight is a little bit more into the outside edge of my fingers, or the little finger, ring finger, and middle finger. And from here, I'm simply going to bend at the elbow and straighten. So I bend at my elbow and straighten. So the triceps, notoriously weak. We bend and bring it back. So play about with the angles that you're making. You could come a little further forwards and just see how that feels for you. In other words, bringing your upper body a little further forwards. Or you can go back a little. That might make life a little bit easier for you. So down, push up. Down, push up. So those elbows are coming straight down behind your wrists. Pull the forearm back and pull the forearm back. Keep that neck super long and shoulder blades soft. Now if you can, you're going to take one hand behind your back. Single arm and up, down and up. We'll do 8 of these if we can. That's number 4. Remember the bottom ribs. That's 5. 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. And pause. We do exactly the same on the other side. Down and up. Remember, don't allow yourself to lean back too much. And up, down and up. Think about your form. We'll do 4 more. 1 and up. 2 and up. 3 and up. Last one. And up. Both hands. Tuck the toes. Upside down V and push right back. Hold and breathe. Now if you can from there, just walk your feet a little closer in. Bring your hands a little further in. Slowly release that low back, the middle back, upper back, eyes. And we're just going to stretch one time each side through the psoas. Open the hip flexor, lateral flexion again. So 1 foot forwards, knee over ankle. We've done these lots and lots. Same side arm comes up as leg is back. Think about the lateral flexions that we did at the beginning by taking your rib cage into that opened rib position on that side. You could always hold on to your wrist and pull back. Pull up and over. Feel that lovely stretch. Bringing it back and down. Now we're going to take same side hand down. A lovely little opener here. Open, 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 open. Then bringing the hand down. A hand at either side of the front foot. Start to straighten that front leg, pulling your seat bone backwards. Lift the toes if you can. Try and flatten the back as best you can. So we get a nice little hamstring stretch there. Push that back heel down. And then we'll just bring that other foot so it's exactly in the same position or completely level. A nice balance here, holding. And you're going to bring that same side arm up as you have leg back. Feel the lateral flexion to the side. Hold your wrist. Feel that extra little stretch, only if you want it. And then taking same side hand down. Open into a little rotation from the middle back. Nice balance. Taking each of your hands either side of your foot. And then start to straighten that leg, but my job is to think about pushing that seat bone back, flattening the back. Lift the toes for a little extra, pulling the toes back towards you. And then slowly from there, bend the knee, press the feet so that they're absolutely even. Head hangs, seat bones are going to spike. Just hang for a moment. You can bend your knees if you wish, and slowly reset, low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. And I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back with another video really soon. Thank you so much.